Den han kaldte dem han stod i nuset fra munden Okay, so I finally got around to do this part. I have been looking forward for this for a long time. I don't remember how long ago it was. Maybe you know, and maybe you even saw it. I made a video maybe a year and a half ago or something, where I made these shingles. I was splitting oak and carving out these shingles, and they've been seasoning for yeah, I guess a year and a half, and I don't really needed to put shingles here. I just really wanted to put shingles here. I wanted to try and make shingles. I wanted to try and see how they season, and I wanted to put them up, and I wanted to see how they go with tar and with no tar. Like how are they going to last here in the seasons? So this is going to be a little experiment. It's a relatively simple job. It really is. I made a simple skeleton of some wood going horizontally and vertically, and then just fitting the shingles. And most of them just go straight up, and some of them, of course, have to be adjusted or cut to the right angles to fit into where they belong. And yeah, so this has been one of the last projects of completing the house here. To finish this gable end here, to cover the gable wall here with the shingles, and then in the front of the house, you saw I made a half wall to one side. These shingles here, oak, are all hand hewn, hand split, hand carved, everything. On the front side, I did one of the few cheats that are on this house here. I'm desperately running out of materials as we are in the last stages of the house, so I didn't have enough. So the shingles there are sawn on like modernly. They all, the finish and the edges and the small profiles on them are carved by hand, but there is some cheat there. I just really wanted that look in the front as well, and I wanted to try a different design on the shingles. The low front wall and the gable end here in the back actually completes the construction of the house. There is minor projects missing. Missing on the house now is only two things. On top of the low wall, on the front of the house, I want some kind of working area, like a workbench that is resting on that low wall, reaching into the house where I can sit and work. And then, of course, the window. where I have some oak that I want to make an opening so that the window can actually open, and the hinge is going to be a dowel or a stud coming up and down on the part of the window that opens, that then sets into a hole in the window sill in the top and the bottom of the window. I don't know if that makes sense to explain, but you will see that in a future video. But we are getting really close here. It's been by May or by June, in a few months' time, this will be 2 years since I started this project, and it does feel really good to finally see some of the nice detail works and the detailed pieces coming together. I have been insanely cold today. In the morning, it was minus 15 degrees Celsius, and I've been struggling with my beard freezing, with my nostrils freezing every time I breathe, and with my hands, of course. And I have these lovely nail-bound woolen mittens that I've been wearing, but for working with the axe, this is not safe, and for holding nails for putting these shingles in place, it doesn't work. So I had the gloves next to me, and every once in a while I took a break, put them on, walked a bit around, and as you saw, I had a fire going in front to heat myself up, and also to heat up the tar, because the tar will get very, not solid but very sticky, like syrup, or like a hard syrup when it's cold. But with the radiant heat from the fire, it turns into more like an oil that you can actually apply. I did run out though, and that was also part of the reason why I decided that this will be an experiment to see in a year's time what is the difference on these two sides. But I will come back to making some more tar very soon. I need it for a few different projects I have coming up, and I need very good quality tar made from birch bark. And luckily enough, I do have a lot of leftover birch bark from when we made the roof. All the sheets that were not good enough for being on the roof under the turf, I have saved them. Some of them are the good ones are saved for making containers and bentwood boxes or birch bark boxes, but all the scraps are saved so I can make some more tar, and that we'll come back to soon. Other than that, the only thing I really want to do is to make some kind of a raised fire pit, maybe like half a meter tall or something, from stone or wood. I haven't figured that out yet, where I normally have the fire in the front. Both to make it easier to work around the fire. I often need the fire to heat stuff up or work with it, and I also want the heat to be able to go into the house and be trapped there better, so for when I'm working there. And as I have mentioned in earlier videos, this area does flood once in a while, temporarily, when it's really rainy. So just to make sure I have a fireplace that is a little up, that is something I have to figure out, and that will be maybe one of the last parts. I'm slowly moving into the house. As you might have seen, I have a chest in there. I'm going to make some shelving and a small place to sit, stuff like that. But it's all in the details now. And I am planning on, when the whole house is done, I am planning to make like a full long video without the talking, just showing the build. But I don't know if anybody would actually be interested in watching that. So if you feel that would be a good idea, let me know in the comments below. That would be nice to know, so I don't waste my time doing that. And both shingles made from pine, or I think actually it's larch tree, and the oak here, you really don't need to treat them. They don't need this tar. I just really like the look of it, and I must admit that the place here is very humid. And besides the last month that have been really cold and dry, this place is very moist, and there's overhanging trees, and there's generally there is not a lot of sunlight here. So I just wanted to treat them a bit and prolong the life of them, really. We do actually have quite a few examples of shingles from the Viking Age. Everything from very simple, crude ones like the ones you see here, to very elaborate ones with decorational lines on each individual shingle. Something a little bit more similar to what I have on the front wall. I don't think shingles were used on walls, and I don't think shingles were, and I don't think the shingle roofs were very common. But maybe on very fancy buildings, on great halls or churches or something like that, there might have been shingle roofs. So we have the evidence for shingles, but I'm sure a small work shed like this back in the Viking Age would not have been covered with shingles. Nonetheless, this was not about recreating a specific house from the Viking Age. It was more a project of working with different techniques, learning stuff, and trying stuff out, so that most elements on this house are based on archaeology in some way or another. Just to give you a small heads up on what's coming, I have a plant dyeing video coming up. I got some tricks and tips from Anna back in an earlier video, you might have seen that, and I want to try myself, and I have collected a certain kind of mushroom that can hopefully dye a orangey red kind of color that I want to dye a piece of fabric with. That's coming up here from the house in not too long time. Also I have, like I mentioned, making more birch tar. I have different projects. I don't want to tell it all now, but I have different projects where I need the tar, and I really need good quality homemade birch tar. So that's coming up as well. What else? Yeah, and yeah, so I can tell you these things, but I don't want to tell you everything that is coming. I always have good videos planned, and I'm really happy that you guys are following along. It means a lot to me to read all the nice comments and the way you receive the videos when I upload them. So that really warms my heart and really makes me proud, and it really makes me feel like going, and it makes me feel like making more and more videos. So thank you guys, thank you so much. I don't know if you could get a sense of it in the video, how cold it actually is. It's the best winter I remember in my whole adult life. And I love winter, I love frost, I love snow, I love everything about it. Also the fact that everything takes more time and driving has to be done really carefully and slow. I don't mind. And it has been wonderfully cold. Even the banks of the little stream behind me here is freezing. It's fantastic. And just to let you know that the Viking clothing really pulls through in this kind of climate. I'm wearing two woolen tunics, a thin one undyed, and then this grey one. I have my woolen mittens. I have I have a piece of wool wrapped around my neck as like a scarf or a buff. I have the leather hoodie here to stop the wind. My hat made from wool, thick wool lined with linen. Woolen pants, woolen leg wraps, and I'm actually wearing two pairs of thick nail-bound socks into a pair of Viking boots. I have these boots, I don't wear them a lot. Actually, I am going to make a new video about making a new set of boots here at some point as well, so stay tuned for that. But these boots here are a little bit too big, but they're perfect because then I can fit two pairs of socks, and I have not been cold. Besides my hands, when working, of course, naturally that will get very cold, and my beard here freezing from my breath freezing, and then the small hairs in my nostrils are getting really frosty as well. But I definitely had a good time here today, enjoying this beautiful frozen winter day. I'm glad that you guys wanted to come along, and as always, feel free to ask questions to anything you've seen in this video, and I will get back to you and try to answer to the best of my ability. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the little button and all these things, and I'll be more than happy. So stay safe and see you soon.